Hello there, I'm Barry Robinson for Scarborough TV News, and this young man is Ian Hale. You're the secretary of the Yorkshire Coast Model Flyers.
That's correct, yes, Barry.
Marvellous club, tell me all about it.
Well, the club was formed 6 months ago. We're still in the early stages of developing our activities, but this is one of the key activities we do in the winter because it's indoors, it's independent of the weather, and it really sharpens your flying skills because the walls seem to move closer to you, but it's not. It's your ability as a pilot to control the aircraft in a small space using all the technology that's available to us, which is these days has just come on in leaps and bounds.
I think it will take a lot of skill.
It does initially, but it depends on the choice of aircraft. If you're new to the hobby, then we can set you up with a trainer, something that's very docile, that you can just push around, and as your skills sharpen up and your reaction times increase, we can get you with a full 3D aerobatic model, which really can virtually fly the book, as they say.
Well, today we're looking at really small, light, plastic, electric aircraft, aren't we?
We are. Which are extremely agile, and in the right hands with one of our more experienced pilots, who you'll see later, you can fly all the manoeuvres that you would fly in a full-sized aerobatic aircraft.
Yeah, but you do have some bigger scale models, don't you?
We do. We fly models up to sort of 6 or 7 feet wingspan. We fly those at Oliver's Mount, where the club has just acquired a new flying site courtesy of Scarborough Borough Council, who've been most helpful with providing us with facilities.
So where do you get these aircraft from? Do you make them yourselves? Are they in kits or what?
The choice is yours. You can buy what we call an almost ready-to-fly kit, which comes out of the box, 2 wings, a fuselage, tailplane, and all you have to do is install the motor, the radio equipment, and obviously set up the computer-controlled radio. That's at the get you going quickly stage. If you want a little more excitement or a little more of a challenge, you can build it from scratch. You buy a plan and then buy all the wood, all the materials, and it could take you 6 months to build something.
So how much do these things cost? You would expect it to be like a fortune.
How deep is your pocket? It can be. It can be extremely challenging and expensive, but to get you going, £300 or £400 with all the radio gear, and you only need to buy 1 transmitter, and then all the planes will work with that. So you can say initially about £300 or £400 would get you in the air with a trainer, radio, batteries. We mostly fly electric these days. The old diesel engines, IC engines are still around, but because of noise restrictions, environmental considerations, you are less restricted with the electric models, and they plug and play. You know, they are clean and much easier to manage.
How far does the radio signal go?
Much further than you can see.
Really?
Probably a couple of miles.
Wow.
So, but what we're always conscious of is safety. Safety is paramount with model flying. It's first, second, and third. So the pre-flight preparation is most important. Even in here, you would be setting things like fail-safes. So if the model loses radio communication with the transmitter, it sets all the flying surfaces to neutral and cuts the engine. So minimum risk to other people because, you know, certainly a bigger model can do you a lot of damage.
Yeah, it certainly
in the wrong
can.
hands.
So these little models we're going to see, how much do they cost and what do they weigh?
Right, well, on the cost grounds, the one I'm flying, which is made of what we call EPP, which is like a very, very robust foam, about £40 complete. You need a receiver on top of that, but the actual aircraft with all its component parts, about £40. Get you in the air for 100, easy for a lot, and that would give you a great choice of models.
And these things are ideal for inside.
Yeah.
Outside, I would have thought if there was a bit of wind, they could go anywhere.
Yeah, on a very still, calm summer's afternoon, or even a still air, you can fly them outside.
I'm now with John Hill, the chairman of the Yorkshire Coast Model Flyers. Now, John, I want you to explain all the controls and everything about your aircraft.
Yes, well, this model is called a Disney XL, and it's actually a competition standard model. as opposed to the other models you'll see, which are commercially bought kits. This had to be imported as a kit and built. As for the controls of the model, that's called the ailerons. That's called the elevator, which you can see.
Yeah. You've also got a display screen.
Yes, that's giving all sorts of relevant information, including the voltage of the transmitter, because if we don't want it to fall below a certain level.
And you've got lots of little switches here and there. What do they do?
These are all for extra functions, not just on this model, but on other models with more controls on them, such as retractable undercarriage. So you'd have an extra switch.
Wow.
To operate that,
Yeah.
on scale models. Some models have got flaps and air brakes, even working lights.
So, John, what are you going to do now?
Well, I'll hopefully give you a demonstration of how well this model flies. As I said, it is a competition model. It's designed for aerobatics.
Yeah.
Although it's a restricted area, we can manage to do aerobatics in this hall, loops and rolls and things.
Great.
So that's what I'm hoping to demonstrate now.
Okay, off you go.
Okay then.
Well, we've had a really interesting time here at the Hunmanby Sports Hall with John and Ian. Now, Ian, if anybody wants to join your club, how do they go about it?
Right, well, the first thing they can look at is our website, yorkshirecoastmodelflyers.org, or they can contact me by telephone on Scarborough 864 111, or they can visit our Facebook page and send us a message. I have to say we're working with the air training cadets in Scarborough over the next 3 months, and we'll be teaching them both to build aircraft and to fly them, so get involved.
Well, John, thank you very much for inviting us down here, and the same goes to you, Ian. I'm Barry Robinson for Scarborough TV News.